Is this a must-see horror movie? No, not by a long shot. Is this a should-see psychological thriller? Yes, absolutely. This movie lives by the performance of Mia Goth. She is amazing. Her performance is mesmerizing, especially towards the end. There is a monologue which is just, I can't really describe it. I surely cannot say everything that happens in the monologue, but it's just brilliant. She is perfect in this role, which is really surprising because this is the prequel to the movie X, and she plays the same character, the younger version. Back in X, she was an old lady and a young lady. Funny enough, she was two characters, and I didn't really like her in those roles, but here she is just great. It's no question about it. This movie is a should watch just because of her performance. The story itself is not a horror story. There is some blood in the end, but to be honest, like the first season of Game of Thrones is more brutal than this movie. But this basically is a study of the descent into madness by Pearl. Like in the beginning, you see there's something off about her, like the way she behaves, but it's just like a bit. Like she's mostly normal, she's a bit off the edge, and that's completely shifts. Like at the end, she's completely off the edge and like a little bit normal. But it is really well acted. Like you understand why she goes off the rails. Like in the X, there was like the question, why is the old Pearl doing all the things? Like there's no rhyme or reason to her actions. This movie explains it, and it explains it good. This is what a prequel should be. You have a character that is a bit mysterious, and they explain it realistically. Like there's not some crazy devil spell or something. It's all things that really could happen, and that honestly did happen. We had enough serial killers who would fit this movie. But it's really interesting. Like the beginning is a bit strange. The style is a bit unique, I would say, but it's still great. It's just a great movie. The rest of the cast is fine. Like there's nobody who really stands out as bad. They're all good. But there are basically only like 4 characters, real characters, which is Pearl, of course. There is a projectionist. He doesn't even have a name. Like I looked it up. He doesn't even have a name. He gets to do some talking. Her sister-in-law, who gets some talking, and her mother. And then there's her father, but he's in a wheelchair and he doesn't speak. Her husband only he is in the war, so he doesn't have a speaking role. He's in flashbacks and such. And I think her mother-in-law also has some words. But basically they're all irrelevant. This is the main characters are Pearl, her mother, the protectionist, and her sister-in-law. The mother is great. She is made out to be very harsh, but turns out she's kind of right about what she's talking about. The only thing I find annoying, again, but this is basically me, and because where I'm from, she plays a German immigrant. And to play a German immigrant, they have a actress from New Zealand, which is annoying because her German is not really good. It is much better than, let's say, Wednesday's German, which is unintelligible to anyone. Her German is much better, but she has a noticeable accent, which is then funny because when she is speaking in anger in English, she also has an accent. So, I don't know. So, I don't understand why they don't find, like, German-speaking actors or just German actors to play Germans. Like, they find enough Germans to play Nazis in war movies, but they never find Germans to play Germans in non-war movies. Anyway, irrelevant. She's also really good. Her name is Tandy White. I hope that's how you say it, Tandy White. Anyway, she's really good as the mother. Really interesting, really intense character. And overall, this is just a really, really good movie. It's surprisingly good. Like I said, I didn't like X. It was, for me, a very boring horror movie. And this is not a horror movie. I cannot say this enough because it's like marketing as a horror movie. It is not. It is not a horror movie. You can call it psychological horror, maybe, but it's not scary. It's not intimidating. It's a slow descent into madness from the main character. And again, if you don't like horror movies, this is not a horror movie. You should watch it because Mia Goth is amazing. Like, there are so many movies out there who get a lot of press and a lot of attention, but the actors aren't really good. They're just like big name actors. And I honestly don't know if Mia Goth is a big name actor or not, but she's in this movie, she's brilliant. Just for her performance, and basically her performance is 70% of the movie. You should watch it. The cinematography is also really good, like the scenes of the farm, the landscape. It's really nice. They capture the flow of the 1920s really nicely. It is a really good movie overall. It's surprising. Like, for me, it's always a surprise. Like, I go into a sneak movie, so I don't know what's coming. This movie's already out, like, in the US. It's been out a while, actually, in the US. Over here, it's just starting, like, in a month. But if you want to see a good movie, an entertaining movie, an interesting movie, you should watch this. From all the movies in the last weeks I have seen, this is the one I can recommend to watch. Like, there's a German-speaking movie I would recommend. I'm not sure if I make a review about, but like over the last month, if there's one movie I would recommend to watch, it's this one. So check it out.